Right, now this was a big day, so we'd had a relatively restrained night the night before, and we sped off pretty optimistic. Climbed our first hill just outside of Poperinge, took a little wrong turn, and rode through some really lovely countryside, slightly rolling hills, dodged a few rainflowers, but it was absolutely fantastic. We had a really good start to the day, notwithstanding the weather, and the weather did get worse before it got better. We spent a long time going along this canal. It was quite muddy, quite hard going, changing sides a couple of times before we hit Roubaix, which is a fairly uninspiring town to ride into, but a cool place nonetheless because we got to see the velodrome. We did not, as you'll see from this, get to ride around the velodrome. We'll get to that later. We left Roubaix with a stomach full of food, feeling a lot better. Had a long ride with a tailwind all the way along this canal, and it was absolutely fantastic. We were moving the weather slightly behind us, but ever so slightly faster, so catching us up. The odd shower that we couldn't escape. But we did find a good bus shelter to hide under for a little while here. And then it was time for the big one. Right up the Koppenberg. Doesn't look very big on this, but it was really tough. Very steep, really knackered us for the rest of the ride. And it was really just limping back to our accommodation. We were really looking forward to arriving there. So imagine our disappointment when we got there and we couldn't find a way in and my phone died and everything looked like it was going wrong. To Brakel, which is about 108 kilometers. So quite a big day. There's a strong headwind, but we're heading away from the headwind, so I guess that makes it a tailwind. Steam that up. That's a self-closing door. Got some pave. Got our first climb coming up. Can't remember what this one's called. It's not the Kemmelberg. Kemmelberg's next. But well, that's kind of what we came here for. Wind and cobbles, and we've got cobbles. I've actually got quite bad wind. It's something to do with the yeastiness of the local beers and the enthusiasm with which we've been consuming them, as well as the total lack of fibre, large amounts of carbohydrates, salty food. It's basically a big mess down there right now. Here is a rather narrow road. They clearly get a lot of cyclists, so the solution, unlike the yellow triangles that we see in Australia, is to simply build a really nice paved cycle road. Sadly, although this is a very excellent cycle lane, it was in fact the wrong one. On the left hand side here we're just passing a field of Brussels sprouts, so there must be something in the name. I always wondered. Oh, we're nowhere near Brussels, so presumably there's nothing agriculture near Brussels, so I don't know why they don't just call them Belgian sprouts. I suppose here they just call them sprouts. Left turn up ahead, slight left, is Kemmelbergstraat, which can only mean that the lump in front of us is the Kemmelberg, one of the largest hills in the region. We're going to go up that. I think apparently it's quite a steep climb. Someone told me there was a nice cafe at the top. Clear. Fucking hell! Must have done the sensible thing and dismounted. Oh, this is glorious. To my right, I can see a rain cloud coming towards us. A huge cow. A fox. Lots of cows. You can smell the cows. I've just felt the first drop of rain. Well, that tailwind is now
in our faces. That was a French person. They definitely pass differently to Belgian people. Now we're talking. Wind behind us, by a river, sun out. I think it would be fair to describe the weather as changeable today.
So this is the canal towpath that goes into Lille-Roubaix, and we couldn't really work out whether we were in France or Belgium at any point here, except for when we saw signposts that were in French or not. And it looks like a good path, but it was really beginning to drag on. We'd done a few hills, we'd had a bit of weather, we'd got wet, we'd dried off, we'd got wet again, and this was actually quite a hard going surface, so even though it looks like a lovely ride along the canal side, it was starting to drag, and we were starting to feel really quite hungry and wondering where the hell Roubaix was.
We might have left Belgium at some point. I've got a feeling we might be in France. I don't remember seeing anything that said in France, but everything's in French. Canal du la Watt and Église de la something. Well, we're coming into a town, so we'll probably find out here, won't we? Where everything's in French. Coiffure, habitat, bricolage. Yep, there we go. This cycle path is being rewilded. We are just skirting north of Lille right now. We've left the canal path and we're going to Roubaix. We're a loop around the velodrome and a bite to eat. We're still making our way into Roubaix. I have to say, I knew it'd be built up and a bit boring, but this is getting tedious. We are at least, I think, approaching something that seems like a town. This is it, Greg. Ready for a loop? Shot. It's shot. There's got to be a way round. That's a team running. Oh no! It's massive, isn't it? Yeah. That's upsetting. Reasonably disappointing visit to the velodrome in Roubaix because it's shut for training, and there's a big sign saying don't even think about coming here with your bicyclette. Sorry, Greg. Navigation issues. Yeah. And it has started raining again. And this is some fairly decent rain, but all the rain we've experienced today has been sort of showery, so hopefully this will be over pretty quickly. At the very least, it's given my legs a bit of a clean. And we've got a really strong headwind behind us right now. Oh, for fuck's sake, why can't I get that right? There's a tailwind behind us, headwind in our faces. The amount of debris across the path. I am very, very happy to be on the leeward side of these trees.
We really hadn't appreciated quite how bad the weather was. It was causing travel chaos across Western Europe behind us, so you can see the trees were starting to disintegrate around us, and we just merrily rode on through.
This canal path is actually closed to the public right now. There's loads of huge potholes and roots poking up, so we've got to keep our eyes peeled. It's really nice, quiet, getting these nice bridges. A road that we have to cross. Some fishermen. We're back in Belgium now, but we never noticed the border. Give them a wave. Rude bastards didn't wave back. Never mind. Cycling over quite a cool bridge here. I quite like it. Although it's a bit wonky. Disconcertingly wonky looking bridge, Greg. A disconcertingly wonky looking bridge. Only problem with this tailwind is when you fart, you can't escape it. catches up with you. Some monumental trees, some monumental tailwinds, pushing 30 kilometers an hour right now, 128 watts of power. Too far away. I think we're about 75 kilometers under the belt. So closing in on our target, which is 108 kilometers. There's a big fuck off log here. Might slow down for that one, so I'll go over it. Boink, boink. Greg's pannier bounces off the rack on those bumps. We need to tighten it up a bit this evening, so we're taking that very conservatively. I'll wait for him to catch up with me and then we'll get cracking again. 19 kilometres to bottom of the Koppenberg. That's the big one, that's 65 metres. That'd be cool. I'll give the guy a wave, see if he waves back. Whoa. Nothing. Go around this one, I think. I think the proper rain has finally caught up with us.
Shop or something over there?
Even if it is a shop, I'm not going into it.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit here and look at a shop. It does look like it sells vegetables, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it also looks very shut.
Oh, there's an ID4.
Oh, yeah.
And, in silver.
You reckon you could get 2 bikes in the back of it? Not our 2 bikes.
Yeah, I can get my bike and Beth's bike in.
Oh.
It's absolutely cavernous inside.
Oh.
Because there's no... It's amazing how much space the transmission tunnel on the drivetrain. Well, it's pissing down, Peter.
Yeah.
The
We felt a few raindrops, and then we stopped putting our jackets on. Thought that was a good idea because it will be with us for a while, this rain, on the basis that we've got a tailwind and it's moving roughly, well, a little bit faster than us, so it will pass eventually. And then Greg spotted a bus stop and said, well, we should just wait this out, it will be over in 5 minutes. According to the radar, it's going to be more like 10 or 15 minutes, but I still think it's a good thing to wait this out because... Alright. Bottom of the Koppenberg. Greg's already gone. The cobbles have just dried out from the rain. Just getting my gearing right. Going to be using the small chainring, I think, on this one. And here's the Strava segment, so off I go. Does Peter still have it? Certainly starts a little bit steep. Fuck, these are proper cobbles, aren't they? Oh, I'm out of gears. Oh, it's just my legs now. Oh fuck me, it gets steeper. Oh, it's still wet here. Back wheel slipping a bit. Trying help you, motherfucker. Fuck. Right, pushing up here from here on, but that's not easy because it is slippy. It is so slippy underfoot.
As you may be able to tell, I found it quite slippy underfoot, but there wasn't really much I could do apart from walk up. There was no way I was going to get pedalling again up there. In the end, I did manage to find a section of paving on the edge of the cobbles that was completely smooth and had no wet leaves on it, and I was just able to get the bike moving fast enough to start to get some forward momentum and get pedaling back up the hill. But not before I'd done a fair bit of pushing.
It's a shame that rain cloud came through. I'm not saying I'd be able to get up, but I feel I would have stood a better chance if it had not been so wet up there. Well, I'm back, moving up the Koppenberg, I managed to find a dry, flat patch and get moving again. You see there's another wet patch coming up there, so this is one hard hill. Right, better go fast here, get some momentum through the wet patch. As I say, wattage. Yeah, I mean some of that up there. Fucking hell. Fucking maybe it takes riding up the Koppenberg to appreciate this. Beautiful road, lovely slight downhill gradient, great corners. Literally a corner there because there was corn all over the road. Never really thought of the Belgians as being corn eaters, but perhaps they use it for animal feed, perhaps they're making some sort of extruded corn snap or popcorn, or possibly it's exported. But there's been a surprising amount of corn in the field. Well, this is a deeply depressing set of roads to ride along, but it can't all be perfect, can it? I thought I'd get some frame with your fine figure in it. You sell the video of your calves pumping on the dark web. Anyway, now we're on a main road between Oudenaarde and Brakel, and it's actually not very nice at all. But even for a not very nice at all road, it's got proper marked bike lanes that are maintained along with the proper road. They're not just a gutter, so it doesn't feel unsafe or anything. It's just, you know, it's just not nice. And we've even got a margin here so that the cars know to stay away from us. It's good. Oh, I say that, we've just lost our margin. Right, we've now got a climb equivalent to what we've just been down. A kilometre of this, average gradient 3%, 32 metres of climbing. Whoever says there's no hills in Belgium can go and eat a bag of dicks. There's fucking hills all over the place. Rather attractive set of new houses. I wonder if they look the same to the people who live there, or whether they look like a sort of mock Tudor estate does to me. I don't know which way to go here. I think so. Yeah. No. Straight on. This way.
Now, Greg is far too polite to say anything about it, but I'm fairly sure at this point he was beginning to wonder whether I actually knew how to read a map.
Robot mower doing the lawn as well. They must be the king of Brakel.
Unfortunately, this is the point at which my memory card decided it was finally full, and it's a real shame because it stopped me from being able to film our arrival at our accommodation that evening, which was quite impressive to look at, but actually a bit of a damp squib in terms of how it panned out. The whole place was shut down and we couldn't find anyone for quite some time. I tried to call them, but then my phone went flat. I charged it enough during my very well-earned shower to be able to take photos of the incredible range of cycling memorabilia they had lying around the place. It was absolutely astonishing, and there were loads of great bikes and other bits and pieces to look at, as well as their own branded beer. Well, we had more than one beer that night because we had to wait for quite some time for our food to arrive from a neighbouring town, which is one of the only places with a restaurant that would actually deliver food for us, and we certainly weren't going to ride for another 16 kilometres. The one place we did get only served kebabs and fried stuff, so we ate a lot of that, washed down with a lot of beers, and that would have ramifications the following day. But more of that next.